A black mail-order bride? Look at her color, Thomas. She's black. That's all I need to know. Patricia Hendricks holds a photograph. Her son's fiancée, a young black woman from Chicago, met online. Patricia's face twists. This black woman thought she could walk onto our 340 acres? She rips the photograph in half. The sound cracks through her Georgia kitchen. We reject her because of her color, because she's black, because she doesn't belong. Patricia's husband nods. Her son stays silent. The family decides. Patricia sits at her kitchen table, pulls out cream stationery, begins writing to Melissa Foster. Dear Miss Foster, our family cannot accept someone of your color. Her pen glides across the page, each word final, absolute. The family has rejected the black mail-order bride for her color. Patricia signs her name, folds the letter, seals the envelope with satisfaction. She doesn't know this letter will cost her everything. What happens next? She never saw it coming. Stay watching. Let's go back 8 months. Melissa Foster teaches 2nd grade on Chicago's South Side. 23 students. Crayon drawings taped to cinder block walls. A coffee mug that says best teacher ever sits on her desk. She's 29 years old, single, tired of dating apps where men ghost after 3 messages, tired of first dates that go nowhere. Her friend Keisha mentions a website, correspondencematch.com, old-fashioned. You write actual emails, build something real before meeting in person. No swiping, no games, just words. Melissa creates a profile on a Sunday night in October. She's honest, elementary school teacher, loves reading, wants something genuine, looking for someone who values patience and kindness. Thomas Hendricks messages her on Wednesday morning. His profile is simple, farm equipment technician, Hartwell County, Georgia, looking for someone real. His first message reads, I'm not good at writing, but your smile looks kind. That matters to me. She writes back that same evening. Email 2 arrives the next day. Thomas tells her about the farm. 340 acres his family has worked for 4 generations. The way sunrise looks from the back porch. How quiet the mornings are. How peaceful. Email 12 comes in November. My grandmother always said the right person would find their way here eventually. I think that might be you, Melissa. They video call for the first time in December. He's nervous. She laughs at his awkward jokes. He asks about her students. She asks about his grandmother who passed away 5 years ago. They talk for 2 hours. Email 27 arrives on Christmas morning. I know this sounds crazy. We haven't met in person, but I feel like I've known you forever. By January, they're calling every night. By February, they're making plans. Email 41 lands in March. I'm sending some documents, Melissa. Legal paperwork. Trust documents my grandmother set up before she died, family stuff. Don't worry about reading it all now. Just know you're going to be part of this family. You already are. The FedEx boxes arrive at her Chicago apartment. 3 of them, heavy, official-looking. She stacks them by her door, meaning to go through everything later. The legal language can wait. Love comes first. Email 49 arrives in late April. Thomas is sitting on that back porch he's described so many times. The sunset behind him is gold and pink. He's holding a small box. Melissa Foster, I know we haven't met in person yet, but I know my heart. Will you marry me? She says yes through tears. They don't rush it. This is serious, legal, real. They sign engagement documents in May. She files hers in Cook County, Illinois. He files his in Hartwell County, Georgia. It's official now. They're building a future together. They plan to meet in person in June. She'll drive down to Georgia, meet his family, see the farm, start their life. On May 20th, Thomas sends email 53. My mother wants to see a picture of you before you come down. She's old-fashioned, likes to know who's joining the family. Can you send your favorite photo? Melissa chooses carefully, her best picture. She's smiling, wearing the necklace Thomas sent for her birthday. Her hair is natural, her skin is dark brown. She looks happy. She is happy. She sends the JPEG on May 22nd. Thomas's response takes 5 days. That's unusual. He always responds within hours. When he finally writes back, it's just 1 line. There's a complication. I need to call you. He never calls. Instead, a FedEx envelope arrives at her door on June 10th. The return address reads, Patricia Hendricks, Hartwell County, Georgia. Not from Thomas, from his mother. Melissa's hands shake as she tears open the envelope. Inside is the letter that changes everything. The letter is dated June 8th, 2 days after Melissa sent her photograph, 48 hours between seeing her face and writing rejection. Patricia's handwriting is perfect, controlled, each loop elegant. The stationery is cream-colored, expensive, the kind that announces, "We have money." Dear Miss Foster, not Melissa. Not daughter-in-law. Miss Foster, distant, cold. I regret to inform you that this engagement cannot proceed. Melissa's chest tightens. She sits down at her kitchen table, keeps reading. My son was not forthcoming about certain incompatibilities. Our family has traditions and expectations that, frankly, you do not meet. The word incompatibilities sits heavy on the page. Thomas is young. He doesn't always understand the complexities of family legacy, of maintaining what generations have built, of ensuring our land stays with people who understand its true value and heritage. Melissa reads that line 3 times. People who understand its true value and heritage. She's a second-grade teacher. She's been teaching for 7 years. She understands plenty. We cannot welcome you into our home or our family. This is not personal, you understand. It's simply a matter of compatibility, of ensuring the right fit for our particular circumstances. There it is. Particular circumstances. Right fit. Patricia never says black. She never says race. She doesn't have to. The code is crystal clear. I suggest you move forward with your life elsewhere. Chicago is a fine city. I'm sure you'll find suitable opportunities there. Do not attempt to contact Thomas further. Do not come to Georgia. This matter is closed. The engagement is terminated. Terminated. Like a business contract. Like Melissa is a problem to be eliminated. The signature is confident, flowing. Sincerely, Patricia Hendricks. A phone number is listed at the bottom, not for calling. For knowing she means business. Melissa reads the letter twice, then a third time. Each word cuts deeper. She's been rejected before. Bad dates, job applications she really wanted, a teaching position at a better school. But this is different. This isn't, "You're not qualified." This isn't, "We found someone else." This is, "You're not our kind." She picks up her phone. Calls Thomas, voicemail. She calls again, voicemail. She sends a text, "I got your mother's letter." Not delivered. She tries again. "Thomas, please call me." Not delivered. She sends 15 more messages over the next 2 hours. None go through. He's blocked her number. 8 months of daily conversations. Gone. Erased. Like she never existed. Melissa sits in her apartment as afternoon fades to evening. Her student's artwork watches from the walls. A drawing of her with rainbow hair and the words, "You're the best." A Mother's Day card from last year. "You're like a mom to us." A photo from field trip day, 23 smiling faces surrounding her. She's built a good life here, small, stable, safe. She almost gave it up for a man whose mother wrote, "Do not come to Georgia," like Melissa's some kind of trespasser before she's even arrived. The tears come hard. Angry tears. Humiliated tears. Tears that taste like every time someone decided she wasn't enough based on something she can't change. She cries until her throat aches, until her eyes burn, until she's empty. Then she stands up, walks to where those FedEx boxes sit unopened by her door. Thomas sent them in March, 3 months ago. "Trust paperwork," he'd said. "Family documents. Don't worry about it now." She's worrying about it now. She opens the first box. Manila folders, documents with official seals, county stamps, legal language she doesn't fully understand. She pulls everything out, spreading papers across her kitchen table. Engagement documents. Both signatures notarized. Property deeds, tax records, something labeled the Ellen Foster Trust. Melissa stops, stares at that name. Foster, her last name. No relation to Thomas's family that she knows of, but his grandmother's trust document shares her surname. She pulls that folder out, opens it. The paper is thick. Official, filed with Hartwell County in March 2019. Notarized, witnessed, legal. She reads the first page slowly, then the second. Legal terminology she has to parse carefully. Then she reaches a clause on page 3 that makes her forget Patricia's letter entirely. Upon engagement or marriage of Thomas Hendricks to a woman bearing the surname Foster, said woman shall become the sole beneficiary and trustee of the property known as Hendricks Farm. Melissa's hands start shaking, but this time it's not from crying. She reads it again and again. Comprising approximately 340 acres, Hartwell County, Georgia, including all structures, assets, and mineral rights therein. Her last name is Foster. She just got engaged to Thomas Hendricks. The engagement documents are notarized and filed. According to this trust, she doesn't need Patricia's permission. She already owns the farm. Melissa reads the trust clause 5 times. 6, 7. Her hands won't stop shaking. She grabs her laptop, opens Google, types, "Can engagement activate Trust Georgia law?" The results load. She clicks through legal forums, articles about conditional trusts, estate planning websites, property law blogs. It's real. Engagement can trigger trust provisions in Georgia if the trust document explicitly states it. And this document explicitly states it. She reads the next section. The trust was created by Ellen Foster, Thomas's grandmother, filed March 15, 2019, 5 months before Ellen died. There's a handwritten note attached. Shaky writing. Ellen's final words. To my grandson Thomas, if you find a woman with my maiden name, marry her. It means something. It means she's meant to protect what I built. Your mother will try to take this land. Don't let her. The right woman will keep it safe. Melissa's breath catches. Ellen Foster was Ellen Hendricks after marriage. But Foster was her maiden name, the name she was born with, the same name Melissa was born with. It's a coincidence. It has to be. There are thousands of Fosters in America, but Ellen didn't see it as coincidence. She saw it as destiny, as protection, as insurance against her daughter-in-law, against Patricia. Melissa keeps reading. The trust language is clear. Upon engagement to a woman named Foster, that woman becomes sole beneficiary and trustee. Not joint owner, not co-trustee, sole. She owns it, all of it. 340 acres. The house, the barn, the equipment, everything. Patricia doesn't own it. Patricia never owned it. Patricia has been living on property held in trust for someone else. For Melissa. She pulls out her phone, searches for property lawyers in Atlanta. She needs someone who knows Georgia trust law, someone who can tell her if this is real. She finds a name, Attorney Sarah Coleman, civil rights law, property disputes, trust litigation, 5-star reviews, an office in downtown Atlanta. Melissa calls. It's 8 p.m. She doesn't expect an answer. Sarah Coleman picks up on the third ring. Coleman Law, this is Sarah. Melissa's voice shakes. My name is Melissa Foster. I know this sounds insane, but I think I just inherited a farm in Georgia from a woman I never met, and the family living there just rejected me because I'm black. There's a pause. Then Sarah's voice comes back sharp. Interested. Tell me everything. Melissa talks for 40 minutes. The emails, the engagement, the photograph, Patricia's rejection letter, the trust document, the clause about the Foster surname. Sarah asks for photos of every document. Melissa sends them. She hears typing on the other end. Melissa, I'm looking at Hartwell County property records right now. Parcel number HC 2900-314, 340 acres. Owner listed as Ellen Foster Trust. Beneficiary status, conditional pending. More typing. Your engagement documents were filed May 17th. That should have triggered the trust. Give me until tomorrow morning. I need to verify the notarization and check if there are any challenges filed. Challenges? Someone might have tried to contest the trust, especially if they thought they were inheriting. Let me dig. Melissa doesn't sleep that night. She sits at her kitchen table reading through every document Thomas sent. Tax records showing Patricia hasn't paid property taxes in 3 years. Maintenance records in Patricia's name like she owns the place. Letters from Patricia to the county claiming ownership. At 7 a.m., Sarah calls back. Melissa, get dressed. We're driving to Georgia. What? The trust is ironclad. Your engagement is legal. You are the rightful owner of that property as of May 17th. And I found something else. What? Sarah's voice goes cold. Patricia tried to transfer the property into her own name in 2021. She filed a quitclaim deed with a forged signature, Ellen Foster's signature. But Ellen died in 2019. That's fraud. That's felony fraud. Patricia doesn't just need to leave your property, Melissa. She might be going to jail. Melissa stares at Patricia's rejection letter still sitting on her table. When do we leave? Pack a bag. I'll pick you up at noon. Melissa Foster is going to Georgia after all. Sarah Coleman arrives at Melissa's Chicago apartment in a black sedan at exactly noon. She's 42 years old, sharp suit, sharper eyes. She's been practicing civil rights law for 18 years. She specializes in cases like this, property disputes with racial undertones. Families who think the law doesn't apply to black women. She loves proving them wrong. Sarah spreads documents across Melissa's kitchen table. Everything organized, color-coded, tabbed. Here's what we know. Ellen Foster created this trust on March 15, 2019. She died August 2nd, 2019. The trust was filed with Hartwell County Clerk's office before her death, fully legal, notarized by a county notary, witnessed by 2 people, both still alive. She pulls out another document. The trust language is crystal clear. Quote, "Upon engagement or lawful marriage of my grandson Thomas Hendricks to any woman bearing the surname Foster, said woman shall immediately become the sole beneficiary and trustee of all property described herein." Unquote. Melissa nods. She's read it 100 times now. Sarah continues. "You got engaged May 15th, filed documents May 17th. The trust activated that day. You became the legal owner. Not co-owner, not partial owner, sole owner." But Patricia has no legal claim. She never did. Ellen specifically excluded her. Look at this clause. Sarah points to a section Melissa missed. Quote, "My daughter-in-law, Patricia Hendricks, shall have no claim, interest, or right to this property under any circumstances. She has demonstrated poor stewardship and financial irresponsibility. This trust exists to protect the land from her control." Unquote. Melissa stares. Ellen didn't trust her own daughter-in-law. Ellen knew exactly what Patricia was, and she protected her land accordingly. Sarah pulls out more documents. County records, tax assessments, financial filings. Patricia hasn't paid property taxes in 3 years. That's $18,300 in liens against the property. But she can't be held personally liable because she's not the owner. You are, and you just inherited her debt. What? We'll fight it. The debt accrued under false pretenses. But here's the bigger problem. Sarah slides over a document dated 2021. Patricia filed a quitclaim deed 2 years ago, attempting to transfer the property from the Ellen Foster Trust into her own name. Patricia Hendricks, sole owner, filed with the county, official stamp. Can she do that? No, because look at this signature. Sarah points to the bottom of the deed. Ellen Foster's signature, flowing, confident. Ellen Foster died in 2019. This document is dated 2021. That's a forged signature. I've already sent it to a forensic document examiner. Preliminary analysis confirms the signature doesn't match Ellen's known handwriting. Wrong pressure points, wrong pen type, it's fake. Melissa's stomach drops. So Patricia committed fraud, felony fraud. She tried to steal property that never belonged to her using a dead woman's forged signature. Sarah's smile is cold, professional. Melissa, Patricia didn't just reject you because you're black. She rejected you because you're the legal owner of the property she's been squatting on for 5 years. She probably figured if you never came to Georgia, you'd never know about the trust. But Thomas knew. He sent me the documents. Did Thomas know what was in them? Melissa thinks. Thomas said, family paperwork, don't worry about it. He said his grandmother wanted him to find the right person. Maybe Thomas knew about the foster clause. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he thought it was just sentimental. But Patricia knew. Patricia had to know. That's why she reacted so violently to a photograph. Not just because Melissa is black, because Melissa's last name is Foster. Sarah stands up. Pack your bags. We're driving down today. Tomorrow morning, we're walking onto that property, your property, and Patricia Hendricks is going to realize exactly what she's done. The trip takes 11 hours. They arrive in Hartwell County on June 18th, Tuesday morning. The Georgia heat is thick, humid, the kind that makes your shirt stick to your back. Sarah drives slowly down the gravel road leading to the farm. 340 acres of land stretch out on both sides. Cornfields, pasture, a red barn in the distance. At the end of the drive sits a white farmhouse. 2 stories, wraparound porch, flower boxes under the windows, American flag hanging from a pole. A woman stands on the porch, late 50s, gray hair pulled back, wearing jeans and a button-down shirt. She's watering plants. Patricia Hendricks. Sarah parks the car. Melissa's heart pounds so hard she can hear it in her ears. Ready? Sarah asks. Melissa nods. They step out. Patricia sees them immediately. Her watering can stops mid-pour, her eyes narrow. She recognizes Melissa from the photograph. Patricia sets the can down hard, walks to the porch railing. I sent you a letter, Patricia calls out. Her voice is sharp, cold. You're not welcome here. Leave now. Sarah speaks first. Her voice is calm, professional, deadly. Mrs. Hendricks, my name is Sarah Coleman. I'm an attorney from Atlanta. This is my client, Melissa Foster. I don't care who your lawyer is. This is private property. You're trespassing. Sarah doesn't move. Actually, Mrs. Hendricks, we need to discuss who the private property belongs to. Patricia's face hardens. This is Hendricks land, family land, and you need to leave before I call the sheriff. Sarah reaches into her briefcase, pulls out a folder, holds it up. Before you make that call, you should read this. I don't need to read anything from... It's the Ellen Foster Trust, filed March 2019, your mother-in-law's trust. Patricia freezes. Her hand grips the porch railing. I know about the trust. Ellen left the farm to Thomas, to our family. No, Sarah says quietly. She didn't. Sarah walks forward, climbs 3 steps up to the porch. Melissa follows. Patricia backs up but doesn't go inside. Sarah opens the folder, points to a specific clause. Quote, upon engagement or lawful marriage of Thomas Hendricks to a woman bearing the surname Foster, said woman shall become the sole beneficiary and trustee. Unquote. Do you know what that means, Mrs. Hendricks? Patricia's face has gone pale. That's... Ellen was confused when she wrote that. She was 92 years old. Ellen was examined by a physician before signing, declared mentally competent. The trust is valid. Thomas didn't marry anyone named Foster. He was engaged to... Patricia stops, looks at Melissa. Her mouth opens slightly. Foster, Patricia whispers. That's right, Sarah says. Melissa Foster. Your son got engaged to her on May 15th. Filed legal engagement documents on May 17th. The trust activated that day. Patricia shakes her head. No, that's not... Thomas would have told me. Would he? Or did you make it very clear that Melissa wasn't welcome before he had the chance? Melissa steps forward. Her voice is steady, stronger than she feels. You sent me a letter, Mrs. Hendricks. You told me I didn't meet your family's expectations. You told me not to come to Georgia. You rejected me because of my color. Patricia's jaw tightens. I protected my family, our legacy. This isn't your legacy, Sarah says. She pulls out another document. This is the property deed, recorded with Hartwell County. Owner, Ellen Foster Trust. Beneficiary, Melissa Foster, as of May 17, 2024. She hands it to Patricia. Patricia takes it with shaking hands, reads it. Her face drains of color. This can't be legal. It's completely legal. My client owns this property, all 340 acres, the house you're standing in, the barn, the equipment, everything. Patricia drops the paper. It flutters to the porch floor. You can't come here and... We already did, Melissa says. The front door opens. A man steps out, early 30s, tall, work clothes, Thomas. He sees Melissa, stops dead. Melissa? His voice cracks. What are you... How did you... Your grandmother left me the farm, Thomas. You knew, didn't you? Thomas looks at his mother, then at the ground. Grandma Ellen mentioned something before she died, about finding someone named Foster, about how it would protect the land. I thought she was being sentimental. I didn't think... You didn't think I'd actually come? Melissa's voice is hard now. You blocked my number. You let your mother write that letter. You let her reject me because I'm black. I didn't know she was going to... Yes, you did, Patricia snaps at her son. And you should have told me about this ridiculous clause. You should have warned me that this woman... Careful, Sarah interrupts. Whatever you say next, Mrs. Hendricks, remember it could be used in court. Court? Patricia laughs. It's a bitter sound. You think you can sue me off my own land? Your land? Sarah's smile is cold. Mrs. Hendricks, you haven't paid property taxes in 3 years, $18,300 in liens. You've been living here rent-free on property you don't own. That's called squatting. Patricia's face goes from pale to red. I'm not a squatter. This is my home. Not according to Hartwell County records. And there's more. Sarah pulls out another document. The quitclaim deed from 2021. You tried to transfer this property into your name 2 years ago, used a quitclaim deed with Ellen Foster's signature, but Ellen died in 2019. That signature is forged. Patricia's eyes go wide. I don't know what you're talking about. A forensic document examiner has already analyzed it. The signature doesn't match Ellen's authenticated writing. Wrong pressure, wrong ink. It's fake. You committed fraud, Mrs. Hendricks. Felony fraud. Thomas stares at his mother. Mom, did you really? Patricia doesn't answer. She looks at Melissa, at Sarah, at the documents scattered on her porch. Then she speaks. Her voice is quiet now, dangerous. Get off my property, both of you, before I call Sheriff Wright and have you arrested for trespassing. Sarah doesn't move. Call him. I'd love to explain to local law enforcement how you're currently occupying my client's property without permission, how you forged legal documents, how you've accumulated nearly $20,000 in debt on land you've been falsely claiming to own. Melissa pulls out her phone, holds up the screen. A photograph of Patricia's rejection letter, the one that says, "We cannot accept someone of your color." I also have this, your letter, in your handwriting, on your stationery, explicitly rejecting me based on race. That's a civil rights violation, Mrs. Hendricks. We can add that to the fraud charge. Patricia's hands are shaking now. You can't! This is justice, Melissa says quietly. You told me I don't belong here, but I do. Legally, rightfully. This land is mine, and you have 30 days to vacate. Sarah hands Patricia an official-looking document. That's a notice to vacate. Legally served. You have 30 days to remove yourself and your belongings from this property. If you refuse, we'll seek a court-ordered eviction. Given the fraud charges, I doubt the court will be sympathetic. Patricia takes the document. Her hands won't stop shaking. This is my home, she whispers. I've lived here for 30 years. You've been a guest for 30 years, Sarah corrects. Ellen Foster owned it. Now Melissa Foster owns it. You never did. Melissa looks at Thomas. He won't meet her eyes. You could have told me, she says. You could have warned me about your mother. You could have stood up for me. But you didn't. Thomas finally looks up. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't change anything. Melissa turns to Patricia, the woman who rejected her, who tore up her photograph, who told her black skin made her unwelcome. You have 30 days, Mrs. Hendricks. I suggest you start packing. Melissa walks off the porch. Sarah follows. They get in the car. As they drive away, Melissa looks in the side mirror. Patricia stands frozen on the porch, the notice to vacate still in her hands. The woman who said Melissa didn't belong just realized she's the one who has to leave. Patricia doesn't accept defeat quietly. Within an hour of Melissa leaving, she's on the phone. Her voice is sharp, panicked, angry. First call, her attorney, Bill Mitchell, local lawyer, been handling Hendricks' family business for 20 years. Bill, I need you at the house, now. Some woman from Chicago is claiming she owns my farm. She has a lawyer, documents. She's trying to steal my land. Bill arrives 40 minutes later. Patricia hands him the trust document, the notice to vacate. Sarah Coleman's business card. He reads everything in silence. His face grows more serious with each page. Patricia, this trust is valid. Ellen was 92 years old when she signed it. She didn't know what she was doing. She had a physician's certification of mental competency. Right here, dated the same day she signed. Dr. Raymond Shaw examined her, declared her fully aware of her decisions. Then the clause is too vague. Woman bearing the surname Foster could mean anyone. It's specific enough. Your son got engaged to Melissa Foster. The trust activated. It's enforceable. Patricia slams her hand on the table. Then fight it. Find something. This woman cannot take my home. Bill closes the folder. Patricia, this was never your home, legally speaking. Ellen owned it. The trust owns it now. Melissa Foster is the beneficiary. I've lived here for 30 years. As a resident, not an owner. The property was always in Ellen's name, then the trust. You never held the deed. Patricia's face goes red. Then what about the quitclaim I filed in 2021 that transferred ownership to me? Bill goes very still. What quitclaim? After Ellen died, I found some unsigned documents. Property transfer paperwork. I completed them, filed them with the county. The land should be mine. Patricia. Bill's voice drops. Did you forge Ellen's signature? I did what I had to do to protect my family's legacy. That's fraud. Felony fraud. If they prove you forged that signature, they can't prove anything. They already sent it to a forensic examiner. This attorney, Sarah Coleman, she's not playing. She's building a criminal case. Patricia stands up, paces. Her mind is racing. What if we claim the trust discriminates? That it's based on race? The trust doesn't mention race. It mentions a surname. That's legal. What if we say Melissa tricked Thomas? That she found out about the trust and seduced him for the property? They got engaged before she knew about the trust. The timeline proves it. She didn't open those FedEx boxes until after your rejection letter. Patricia stops pacing. How do you know that? Because Sarah Coleman is smart. She'll have phone records, email timestamps, evidence that Melissa had no knowledge of the trust until you rejected her, which means she has clean hands. You don't. Patricia sinks into a chair. For the first time, fear crosses her face. What do I do? Bill closes his briefcase. You have 3 options. 1, vacate within 30 days. 2, fight this in court and lose while racking up legal fees. 3, negotiate with Miss Foster for more time to relocate. Negotiate? With her? Yes, because if you don't, she can file for immediate eviction. And given the fraud issue, the court will side with her. Fast. Patricia shakes her head. I won't negotiate with some black woman from Chicago who's trying to steal my... Stop. Bill's voice is sharp. Don't finish that sentence. Not to me, not to anyone. Because if you say the wrong thing, she'll add a discrimination lawsuit to the eviction. Civil rights violation. That's federal. You'll lose everything, Patricia. Everything. Second call. Sheriff Dale Wright. Patricia's cousin. Second cousin, technically. But family is family in Hartwell County. Dale, I need help. Some woman is trying to take my farm. Sheriff Wright arrives in his cruiser, listens to Patricia's story, reads the documents. Patricia, I can't help you with this. This is a civil property dispute. It's above my jurisdiction. But she's trespassing. Is she? If she owns the property legally, she's not trespassing. You might be. Dale, we're family. Which is exactly why I can't get involved. Conflict of interest. If I arrest her and she proves ownership, I lose my job. Maybe get charged with misconduct. I'm sorry, Patricia. You need a lawyer, not a sheriff. Third call. Patricia starts reaching out to neighbors, friends, people who've known the Hendricks family for decades. She tells them a story, a version of the truth bent to her favor. Some woman from Chicago is trying to steal our farm. She tricked Thomas online, found out about a legal loophole. Now she's using it to take everything we've built. She doesn't mention Melissa's race to everyone. She doesn't have to. Hartwell County is 92% white. People fill in the blanks. By evening, word has spread. The town is talking. Some people sympathize with Patricia. Outsiders coming in, taking what's not theirs. Others are more cautious. If the paperwork is legal, there's not much she can do. A few ask the question Patricia doesn't want to answer. Why did Ellen write the trust that way in the first place? That night, Patricia sits alone in the farmhouse. Thomas has gone to stay with a friend. Doesn't want to face his mother. She walks through the room she's lived in for 30 years. The kitchen where she raised Thomas. The living room where Ellen used to sit by the window. The porch where she grows flowers every spring. This is her home. The only home she's known since marrying into the Hendricks family at age 28. And now she has 30 days to leave it. She thinks about calling Melissa, apologizing, asking for mercy. But the words stick in her throat. Pride, anger, humiliation. She can't apologize to that woman. She won't. Patricia picks up her phone, calls Bill Mitchell again. File a challenge to the trust. I don't care what it costs. I'm not leaving without a fight. Bill sighs on the other end. Patricia, you're going to lose. Then I'll lose in court, with witnesses, with a judge hearing my side. But I won't just surrender my home because some black woman shows up with paperwork. She hangs up before Bill can respond. Outside, the Georgia night is thick with humidity. Crickets scream. A truck passes on the distant road. Patricia stands at her window looking out at 340 acres of land she thought was hers. But the paperwork says different. Sarah Coleman doesn't wait for Patricia to file her challenge. She goes on offense. Back in Atlanta, Sarah's office becomes a war room. Documents spread across 3 desks. Laptop screens glowing with property records, county databases, financial filings. She's building a case, not just for eviction, for prosecution. Melissa sits in Sarah's office watching her work. It's been 2 days since the confrontation at the farm. Tell me what you're finding, Melissa says. Sarah doesn't look up from her laptop. I'm finding that Patricia Hendricks is worse than we thought. She pulls up a document on screen. Tax records from Hartwell County. Property taxes on that farm are approximately $6,100 per year. Patricia hasn't paid them since 2021. That's 3 years. $18,300 in total liens. Can she do that? No, but she did it anyway. Because she thought she owned the property, thought she could ignore the bills, except she doesn't own it. The trust does, which means technically the debt belongs to whoever the beneficiary is. Me. You. But we'll fight it. The debt was accumulated under fraudulent pretenses. Patricia falsely claimed ownership. We can argue you shouldn't be liable for debt incurred by someone who had no legal right to the property. Sarah pulls up another document. Here's where it gets worse. Bank statements. First National Bank of Hartwell County. Account in the name of Ellen Foster Trust. Statements from 2021, 2022, and 2023. Ellen left money in the trust. Not a fortune, but significant. $160,000. Intended to maintain the property, pay taxes, handle repairs. Melissa leans forward. Where's the money now? Gone. Patricia withdrew it. All of it. Starting in July 2021, 6 months after Ellen's death. Regular withdrawals. $10,000 here, $15,000 there. Always just under the reporting threshold. Sarah scrolls through the transactions. The final withdrawal was March 2023. The account balance is now $412. She stole it. Not technically. She had signature authority on the account. Ellen gave it to her to pay bills, but Elena never authorized Patricia to drain the entire account. That's embezzlement, theft by conversion, felony. Melissa sits back. How much total? $159,588. The number hangs in the air. She stole $160,000 from a trust account, used it for personal expenses, never paid the property taxes, and tried to transfer ownership of the land into her name with a forged signature. Sarah closes the laptop. Melissa, this isn't just a property dispute anymore. This is criminal, grand larceny, fraud, forgery. We're talking real prison time if the DA prosecutes. Will they? I'm meeting with the district attorney tomorrow. I'll present everything we have. If they don't prosecute, I'll file a formal complaint. Make noise. Patricia Hendricks is going down. Sarah opens another folder. And there's more. I've been talking to people in Hartwell County. Quietly. Off the record. What kind of people? People Patricia has crossed. Workers she hired and didn't pay. Tenants she evicted from rental properties. Black families who tried to buy land from her and were mysteriously rejected. Sarah pulls out a stack of statements. Handwritten. Signed. Ruby Patterson, 74 years old, retired teacher, black. She worked for the Hendricks family in the 1980s. Cleaning, cooking. Patricia fired her without cause after Ruby complained about unpaid wages. Another statement. James and Linda Crawford, black couple. Tried to lease farmland from Patricia in 2018. Patricia agreed, then backed out at the last minute. No explanation. The Crawfords believe it was because of their race. Another. Marcus Webb, black. Farm equipment supplier. Patricia ordered $20,000 in equipment in 2019. Never paid. Threatened to sue him if he came to collect. Sarah lays all the statements on her desk. Patricia has a pattern, and it's all documented. This isn't just about you, Melissa. She's been doing this for years. Melissa picks up Ruby Patterson's statement. Reads it. Ruby's handwriting is shaky but clear. Mrs. Hendricks called me a racial slur when I asked for my final paycheck. She told me people like me should be grateful for any work we can get. I never reported it because I needed the reference for my next job. Melissa's hands tighten on the paper. I want to meet her. Ruby Patterson, I want to hear her story. I can arrange that. Sarah pulls up one more document. The quitclaim deed from 2021. The one with Ellen's forged signature. I sent this to Dr. Patricia Morrison, forensic document examiner, one of the best in the Southeast. Her report came back this morning. She hands Melissa a printed analysis. Technical language, comparison photos, signature overlays. The conclusion is clear. The signature attributed to Ellen Foster on the 2021 quitclaim deed is inconsistent with authenticated exemplars of Mrs. Foster's handwriting from 2019. Pressure variation, pen angle, and stroke formation indicate a different author. Professional opinion, the signature is a forgery. That's evidence, Sarah says. Admissible in court, criminal court. Melissa sets the report down. What happens next? Tomorrow I meet with the DA. Present everything. Bank records, forged deed, tax evasion, witness statements. Then I file a motion in civil court for immediate possession of the property. We're not waiting 30 days. We're going to court next week. And Patricia? Patricia is going to have a very bad day. Sarah's phone buzzes. She checks it, reads a message. Her eyebrows rise. Speaking of Patricia, her attorney just filed a challenge to the trust, claims it's invalid due to undue influence and mental incompetence of the grantor. Can they win? No. Ellen had a doctor's certification. The trust was filed months before she died. She was lucid. But Patricia's going to make us prove it. Drag this out. Cost you money. I don't have money for a long legal battle. Sarah smiles. You don't need it. I'm taking this pro bono. When we win, Patricia pays all legal fees. Court order. And we will win, Melissa. I promise you that. Melissa looks at the pile of evidence, the statements, the bank records, the forensic analysis. This isn't just about her anymore. This is about Ruby Patterson, who was called a slur and never got justice. About the Crawford family, who were denied a chance because of their skin. About every person Patricia has hurt and gotten away with it. When's the court date? June 25th, 7 days from now. Judge Raymond Shaw. He's fair, by the book. Doesn't tolerate fraud. What do I need to do? Show up, tell your story, be honest, and let me handle the rest. Melissa nods. I'll be there. That night, Melissa calls her mother in Chicago, tells her everything. The trust, the confrontation, the theft, the court date. Her mother is quiet for a long moment. Then, baby, you be careful down there. That woman sounds dangerous. I have a good lawyer, Mama. I know. But lawyers can't protect you from everything. Promise me you'll watch your back. I promise. And Melissa? Yes. I'm proud of you for standing up, for fighting. Your grandmother would be proud too. Melissa's throat tightens. Thank you, Mama. She hangs up, sits in her Atlanta hotel room, thinks about Ellen Foster, a white woman she never met, who somehow knew that a woman named Foster would need protection, would need a safe place, would need justice. Ellen Foster trusted her, a stranger, because of a name. Melissa won't let her down. At this point, Melissa had every reason to walk away. Take the easy path. Let Patricia keep the land. But some fights are bigger than property. They're about dignity. If you've ever had to stand up to someone who thought they were untouchable, drop a comment. Let's finish this together. 3 days before the court hearing, Thomas calls Melissa. She's surprised to see his name on her phone. She blocked his original number. This must be a different one. She almost doesn't answer. Then she does. Hello? Melissa, it's Thomas. Please don't hang up. Silence. I know I don't deserve to talk to you. I know I was a coward, but I need to say something. I need you to hear it. Melissa sits down on her hotel bed. I'm listening. Thomas's voice is rough, like he hasn't slept. My grandmother told me about the trust before she died. Not all of it, but enough. What did she tell you? She said she was leaving the farm to someone special. Someone with her maiden name. She said if I ever met a woman named Foster, I should pay attention, that it meant something. Did you know about the trust clause? The engagement trigger? Not exactly. I knew there was paperwork. I knew Grandma Ellen didn't trust my mother with the land, but I didn't read the full document until after you and Mom, until after the confrontation. So you sent me the trust documents without knowing what was in them. I knew they were important. Grandma made me promise to send them to whoever I got serious with. She said it would make sense when the time came. I didn't understand until I saw you and Sarah walk up to the house. Melissa's voice is cold. You could have warned me about your mother. You knew what she was like. I know. You blocked my number. You let her write that letter. You stood there and said nothing while she rejected me because I'm black. I know. Then why are you calling now, Thomas? What do you want? He takes a shaky breath. I want to testify in court for you against my mother. Melissa sits up straighter. What? I've been thinking about what Grandma Ellen wanted, why she wrote the trust that way. She didn't trust my mother. She knew Mom would sell the land, turn it into subdivisions, destroy what our family built over generations. And she was right. After Grandma died, Mom tried to sell. She contacted developers, had appraisals done. 340 acres in Hartwell County? That's worth millions to the right buyer. Mom wanted to cash out, take the money and move to Florida. But she couldn't sell because the trust prevented it. Exactly. So she forged the deed. Tried to transfer ownership to herself so she could sell. I found the developer proposals in her files. She was negotiating a deal for $2.3 million. The sale was supposed to close in 2022. Melissa absorbs this. Why didn't it go through? Because the title search showed the property was in a trust. The buyer's attorney flagged it. The deal fell apart. Mom was furious. That's when she started draining the trust bank account. If she couldn't sell the land, she'd take the money instead. You knew about all this? I suspected. I didn't have proof until I started going through her paperwork after you left. I found everything. Bank statements, forged documents, letters from developers. She kept it all. Why didn't you tell anyone? Thomas's voice breaks. Because she's my mother. Because I was scared. Because I'm a coward who chose comfort over doing the right thing. He pauses. But I can't keep silent anymore. Grandma Ellen trusted me to protect her legacy. And I failed. But maybe I can fix it. Maybe I can help you finish what she started. What exactly are you offering, Thomas? I'll testify in court. I'll tell Judge Shaw everything. The forged deed, the stolen money, the attempted sale, Mom's pattern of racism, all of it. I'll give Sarah copies of every document I found. Your mother will never forgive you. I know, but Grandma Ellen wouldn't forgive me if I stayed silent. Melissa is quiet for a long moment. Why should I trust you? You abandoned me. You let your mother humiliate me. You chose her side. You shouldn't trust me. I don't deserve it. But trust Grandma Ellen. She knew what she was doing. She left you that land for a reason, and I'm going to honor her decision, even if it means losing my mother. Your mother might go to prison, Thomas. I know. But she stole from you, from Grandma's trust, from everyone who trusted her. She deserves to face consequences. Melissa thinks about Ruby Patterson, about the Crawfords, about every person Patricia hurt. Call Sarah Coleman, tell her what you told me, give her the documents. And Thomas? Yes? Don't ever contact me again after this. We're done. No reconciliation, no friendship, no second chances. You testify, you do the right thing, and then you stay out of my life. Understood? Understood. And Melissa, what? I'm sorry for all of it. You deserved better. She hangs up without responding. 20 minutes later, Sarah calls. Thomas Hendricks just sent me 47 pages of documents. Melissa, this is everything we need. The DA is going to prosecute. This is over. Patricia Hendricks has run out of places to hide. News spreads fast in Hartwell County. By June 23rd, everyone knows. Some version of it, anyway. The diner on Main Street becomes ground zero. People gather. Coffee refills stretch into debates. One side, Patricia's being robbed by an outsider who seduced her son for property. Other side, the paperwork is legal. Ellen Foster wrote that trust for a reason, whispers underneath. Of course the woman is black. Of course she's using lawyers. Counter whispers. Patricia ripped up her photograph, rejected her for her color. She deserved this. The local newspaper runs a story. Page 3. Property dispute heads to court. Neutral, careful, just facts. But the comment section explodes. 200 comments in 6 hours. This is what happens when outsiders think they can take what's ours. If the trust is legal, it's legal. Feelings don't override property law. Ellen Foster was a good woman. If she wrote it that way, she had reasons. Ruby Patterson reads the comments from her living room. 74 years old, lived here all her life, taught school for 40 years. She picks up her phone, calls Sarah Coleman. Miss Coleman, I'd like to testify. What changed your mind, Ruby? I've been reading what people say about that young woman. How she's an outsider, doesn't belong. It reminded me of every time someone told me the same. I'm 74, I'm done being quiet. Ruby hangs up. Thinks about 1985, working for Patricia, being fired, being called that word, staying silent because she needed the reference. 39 years of silence. Not anymore. At the farm, Patricia packs boxes. 2 days until the hearing. Her lawyer says she'll lose. She makes a list of people who owe her favors, people who will testify for her. The list is shorter than expected. In Atlanta, Melissa prepares with Sarah. They'll paint you as opportunistic, Sarah warns. They'll suggest you seduced Thomas for the property. But I didn't. I know. Email timestamps prove it. Phone records prove it. You didn't open the trust documents until after Patricia rejected you. The timeline is clear. What if the judge doesn't believe me? He will. Judge Shaw doesn't tolerate fraud, and Patricia's fraud is documented. You're going to win. That night, Melissa can't sleep. She thinks about Ellen Foster, about Thomas, about Patricia on a porch that was never hers. She thinks about her students in Chicago, about whether she'll return or stay. She thinks about justice, how slow it moves, how hard you fight for it. Tomorrow, she finds out if the fight was worth it. June 25th, Hartwell County Courthouse, 10 a.m. The courtroom is nearly full. Patricia sits with her attorney, Bill Mitchell. Navy dress, pearls, hair perfect, but her hands shake. Melissa sits with Sarah Coleman. Black dress, simple. The necklace Thomas gave her still on, a reminder. Judge Raymond Shaw enters, 61, silver hair, 30 years on the bench. Foster versus Hendricks. Miss Coleman, proceed. Sarah presents the trust document, engagement papers, county records. The trust is clear, Your Honor. Upon engagement to a woman named Foster, that woman becomes sole beneficiary. My client engaged Thomas Hendricks on May 15th. The trust activated. Judge Shaw reviews everything. When was the trust created? March 2019, 5 months before Ellen Foster died. Was she competent? Yes. Physician certification included. Judge Shaw turns to Mitchell. Your response? We challenge validity on grounds of undue influence and ambiguous language. Ambiguous how? The surname requirement is overly broad. That's a condition, Mr. Mitchell, not discrimination. Trusts can have conditions. What else? Mitchell has nothing. Sarah calls Thomas Hendricks. He swears in, won't look at his mother. Did your grandmother trust Patricia with the property? No, she said my mother would sell it immediately. Did your mother try to sell? Yes. I found developer proposals. $2.3 million. Did she forge documents? Yes. The quitclaim deed has a forged signature. Did she steal from the trust? Thomas shows bank statements. $159,000 withdrawn over 2 years. Judge Shaw leans forward. You're testifying against your mother? Because she committed fraud, Your Honor. Patricia stands. Thomas, sit down, Mrs. Hendricks. Judge Shaw's voice is ice. Ruby Patterson testifies, describes being fired, called a slur, decades of mistreatment. Sarah presents forensic analysis, bank records, forged signatures. Patricia takes the stand, denies everything. Sarah cross-examines. Why did you reject Melissa Foster? The engagement was inappropriate. Why? Thomas barely knew her. Sarah holds up the rejection letter. You wrote, we cannot accept someone of your color. Your words. Patricia's jaw tightens. That's out of context. What context makes that acceptable? Silence. Judge Shaw speaks. I've heard enough. The trust is valid. Melissa Foster is the legal owner. Patricia Hendricks, you have 15 days to vacate, not 30. 15. Patricia gasps. Furthermore, I'm referring this to the district attorney. Forgery, embezzlement, grand larceny. Mrs. Hendricks, retain a criminal attorney. He signs the order. We're adjourned. Patricia Hendricks lost everything in 15 minutes. If this moment feels satisfying, imagine how Melissa felt. After being rejected for her color, after being told she didn't belong. Justice doesn't always come fast, but when it does, it's absolute. Drop a comment if you've ever seen karma work this perfectly. July 10th, 15 days later. A moving truck sits in the driveway. Patricia's belongings loaded into boxes, 30 years packed up. Patricia climbs into her car, drives away without looking back. Thomas left days ago. They're moving to Florida, separately. Melissa stands on the porch. Her porch now. Sarah stands beside her. How does it feel? Strange, like I won something I didn't ask for. Ellen asked for you, she just didn't know your name yet. Melissa looks at 340 acres. Land Ellen protected. Land Patricia tried to steal. Land now hers to protect. What will you do with it? Maybe lease it to farmers who care about the land. Maybe turn the house into something good. A place where all colors are welcome. She thinks about the rejection letter. We cannot accept someone of your color. Those words don't hurt anymore. Ellen would approve, Sarah says. I think so too. The Georgia sun sets gold and pink. The same sunset Thomas showed her. The same land he promised. It's hers now, not because of him, because of Ellen Foster, because of justice. Melissa Foster stands on her porch, on her land, in her home. No one can tell her she doesn't belong. If this moved you, hit like and subscribe. Comment below. Have you ever fought for what was rightfully yours? Share your story. Dignity isn't negotiable. Justice doesn't wait. Karma has perfect timing.